Here she is, the undisputed queen of the turf, the one and only Tepin.
Joe, I tell you, she is something else. And as always, never too far away from Dad. Norm got her back right by her side. So that's now 8 straight. And racing's newest $4 million lady. Heck, I call her the queen of the green.
She is special. Coming up, 1 million reasons to smile as Tepin hits the E.P. Taylor turf for the Ricoh. One of several tickets to the Breeders' Cup on the line on a massive weekend of thoroughbred racing. And
I'm Maddie-Jo. We've got a real knockout story for you ahead. Stick around.
yes, we're talking horses.
Turn in the Ricoh Woodbine male. Tepin comes up leisurely. Julien Leparoux looks around, joins full mast. Down the outside, Moudakayev, the real running begins. Trying to get a run as a rod. Tepin trying to get clear here. Fighting down the outside. Mr. Owen is running on. Tepin in front. They have a furlong to run, and she has turned them away. And she is going to make this her own personal playground. Tepin going on to win the Ricoh Woodbine mile. Tower of Texas second. Moudakayev third, and fourth was full mast.
Welcome to the program. Joe Tilley alongside Jason Portwando. What a race, what a day. $9.6 million to handle, a record for the Ricoh Woodbine mile.
All culminating with that huge victory by Tepin. Man, oh man, she is such a good-looking equine athlete. First time I've got that close to her. And yeah, she was full value for the win. She had to earn it. A little bit of rust because, you know, she did have some time away, but still got it done. 8 straight races. She seems to get more and more impressive each time out. Good luck for the rest of the field the rest of the way, because she'll be even better now, fitness-wise, after that effort. All right, Jason caught up with the assistant trainer, Norm Cassie. They took some shots at her. I mean, you know, obviously she is the undisputed champ, but it wasn't an easy thing.
No, it wasn't, and I think a lot of credit needs to go to Julien because I think he rode a really smart race. He knew she probably needed one. He saved just a little bit for the end, and you know, we're lucky to come out on top, but Julien deserves a lot of credit. We'll see how she looks and how she travels back to Saratoga, but what we'd like to do is run her one time at Keeneland, rather being the First Lady or the Shadwell, whichever one comes up easier. Give her an easy race. I know running a Grade 1 and saying it's an easy race is kind of funny, but give her an easy race and then point to the Breeders' Cup.
Racing analyst Jen Morrison joins us to further the conversation on that 5-year-old mare by Bernstein. Wow. Sometimes it's a struggle to get it done, as we said, but the good ones, yes, find a way.
Yep, for sure. I mean, the turf wasn't as soft as we thought it might be. The rain held off a little bit during the course of the afternoon, and then the rainbow came out when the race was being run, which was beautiful. And you know what? She got it done, and we knew she was going to be a little bit suspect, I guess is the word, after the layoff. But you know, the good horses do it, and but you know, there was some good performances behind her. There
were 13 wins for that now Queen of the Green because of all the money she's making. But yeah, Tower of Texas representing for Canada.
Oh my gosh, and Roger Attfield debated all afternoon whether to keep the horse in. He just did not want to run him on a grass that was too soft, and he couldn't really get a gauge of it during the other races. So he debated, finally decided to let him in, keep him in the race, and the horse ran the best race of his life.
Yeah, still has yet to win in 2016, but that was fabulous. Got oh so close. He probably got as close to her as, you know.
Oh, I mean, a lot of horses haven't been that close. Exactly. I mean, he was really trying. You could just see him reaching out. And that was a big payday, a couple $100,000, like winning a stakes race.
Yeah, little guy just skimming across the top of that turf, don't sort of sink down deep. Moudakayev, pretty good third.
Yep, he ran very well, and everybody was right on about him. You know, he's an up-and-coming horse, and you know, next time he won't have to face Tepin, maybe.
That's right. Wow, she is something else. Look forward to the rest of her fall campaign. Yeah, speaking of which, first weekend of that season, Well, time is flying. All right, Jen, let's continue our look back from last Saturday. All kinds of turf action, but there was one over the Tepida, the Ontario Derby.
Ontario Derby Grade 3, and this was a big race for a horse by the name of Amis Gizmo. the horse that won the plate trial, was second in the Queen's Plate, and won the Prince of Wales. How was he going to do against Open Company?
Yeah, that was the big question. We do know on paper he looked to be tons the best, but did that translate to that synthetic surface? Robert Giller rejoins us.
Out in front of Mies Gizmo, 6 in front, Dragon Bay in second, and down the outside 0 Hour, then English Illusion. But as they come down the home stretch, and it's all a Mies Gizmo. Mies Gizmo by 5 lengths. Dragon Bay chasing in vain, but what a sterling win. Turned out in front, never looked back, and is a class above them. Mies Gizmo takes the Ontario Derby by 5.5 lengths.
Simply too good, Jen, as he bounces back from that debacle, we'll say, in the Breeders' Stakes.
Yeah, so either didn't like the grass very much in the Breeders, but anyways, it doesn't matter. And Luis Contreras, you know, this was ingenious. It was the 4th race of the day, so it was early on, but I think he could tell that the track was, because we were getting a lot of rain at that point of the day, the Tapeta was tightened up, it was speed favoring, sent Mies Gizmo to the lead, and it was game over. Track record, too, for 1 1/8 miles. So that's, I think that's champion 3-year-old male honors for him, I would think, at this point, unless something drastic happens.
Something earth-shattering would have to occur between now and then for him not to be sophomore of the year. All right, let's talk more turf. Race number 8 from last Saturday, the Grade 2 Canadian, fairly wide open. Decida did have headlines, though, for Chad Brown.
That's right. No, this is a Grade 1 winner that came in. Chad Brown sending 2 horses in the race. 1 horse, Decida, as we said, and another one that hadn't won in a couple of years. And our hometown hero, Strut the Chorus, who had won this race last year.
That's right. Interesting mix of ladies going postward with the stretch call. Here is Mr. G.
Decida starts a run, and down the outside, good year for Roses. Raina de Battery has gone to the front, and now Decida is powering home. Is it too late? Raina de Batteria, only a length, and Decida right up the inside. Raina de Batteria, Decida the inside, Decida coming, but it's too late. Raina de Batteria from Decida.
So we get the Chad Brown exactor. That's not surprising, but it's just the order they finished in as Reina de Bateria pulls off the minor upset.
Yeah, you know, I was trying to figure out a way to like this horse beforehand, you know, and the fact that Julien Leparoux was riding was something that I should have recognized. You know, he gave this horse a great run, you know, stalking the pace. And he was saying afterwards that she's a horse that's still kind of quirky. She was looking all over the place, drifting here, drifting there, going off the turn, everything like that. But you know what? She got the jump on Decida and beat her. Yeah,
good ride by Julien. And it's good to see him back in the saddle, you know. Hurt towards the end of the Saratoga meet, had that broken wrist, but back in fine form. One of 2 wins, obviously, on the day, or I should say the second of 2.
And the Queen's Plate this year, too.
That's right. All of a sudden, he's found himself a home away from home.
That's right.
One more to talk about from last Saturday. It is the Northern Dancer, 1 complete lap of this showpiece of racing, the E.P. Taylor Turf Course at 1.5 miles. A lot of money on the line in terms of this event, and very good finish.
Oh, boy. I mean, we had an interesting collection of horses here, locals and shippers. I found it a difficult race to handicap because we knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of speed in the race early on.
They were just dawdling up front. It seemed like nobody wanted to take home the biggest portion of that $300,000 purse. Once again, here is Robert.
And World Approval in front. The Pizza Man within earshot. On the outside, Danish Dynaformer. Here's Wake Forest. Wake Forest exploding. And down the outside, Majid. World Approval in front. World Approval, the Pizza Man. Wake Forest, Majid and Danish Dynaformer. Wake Forest is coming with the Pizza Man at World Approval. The Pizza Man. Wake Forest and World Approval. The Pizza Man. The Pizza Man has won the Northern Dancer.
Well, Jen, just like every good pizza man, gets there just on time.
You know what? And, you know, this is an old-timer who's been around for a while. He won the Arlington Million last year, but this is his 17th career win. I mean, he's got a really big fan following there in Chicago, where he's from. He was bred. He's owned by the Midwest Thoroughbreds, leading owners in North America. And he's just a tremendous horse, and nice to see him come to life because he's been on a little bit of a slump.
That was his first time hitting the ticket in 2016. Great ride by Flammy Pride because he realized, you know, the course had some give to it. You can't be too far out of it. And I guess a 3rd time here at Woodbine was the charm.
That's right. He hadn't done very well here in his previous outings. Now we get to see him again in the Canadian International.
Pizza, pizza. Hey, that sounds pretty good on a Saturday morning. Okay, time for break number 1 right here on Talkin' Horses. When we get back, We'll take a look at some more Breeders' Cup Win and You're In competitions, this time focusing in on the first-year students. This week's feature packs a punch, literally, and it's round 2 of Ask the Agent. As we head to the pause, here's a check on the jockey standings.
Horse people have a habit of taking care of their own. It's always been that way. The Horsemen's Benevolent and Protective Association of Ontario was formed to represent horse people's interests on a myriad of issues pertaining to the business of horse racing and the many tens of thousands of people whose livelihoods depend upon the sport. The betterment of racing at all levels is their goal. This is the HBPA's mission statement. We are committed to the future of horse racing. We are horse people who have one horse and a dream. We are horse people who spend millions of dollars. We are horse people who race throughout the country. We are owners, breeders, and trainers, big and small, young and old, from one end of the province to the other. We horse people are the HBPA. We are horsemen helping horsemen.
Hey everyone, I'm Jess from The Social. You're watching Talking Horses on CTV.
Back on Talking Horses, Jason Portwando, Jen Morrison rejoining you on this Saturday. Go back to last Sunday at Woodbine, a couple of Win and You Are In events for the Breeders' Cup. First up for the 2-year-old boys, you know, a smaller field of 7, but 4 of the 7 coming in undefeated.
Yeah, no, it was a really interesting race. And this is, you know, the time of year where you're going to watch horses in these events, Breeders' Cup Win and You're In, see how they do, and follow them to the Breeders' Cup in the first weekend of November. All
right, as the gate was about to fly, Conquest Fahrenheit went in as the definitive choice, but was it the right choice by the public? Robert Geller gives us that answer.
Good Samaritan right down the outside, gobbling them up, and Good Samaritan has gone on by very easily. Good Samaritan charging clear. Conquest Fahrenheit in second, slightly checked was just a slam, but from the back, and Joel Rosario sending Good Samaritan to the Breeders' Cup. What a nice win. Good Samaritan scores by about 2 lengths.
He's talented. He's, you know, the 2 races that he ran the first time he ran, and he, you know, going long, and he won, and he win this today. So, you know, he showed like he's very nice horse.
Do we go to the Breeders' Cup from here?
You definitely have to think about it. Obviously, we'll monitor how he comes out of the race, but winning a race like this, it probably puts him in the upper echelon for that division, so we'd love to think about it.
Well, Jen, a big win for Team Mott. Riley obviously happy with this horse's performance, and why not? Perfect 2 for 2.
Yep, this horse came in off a very impressive win at Saratoga. If you had a chance to watch the replay of that race, you would have seen he rallied wide. You know, Conquest Fahrenheit was a big favorite in here, and he moved to lead like a winner. He was pretty confident, looked like, the horse and the rider, but Good Samaritan had a really fast kick there, and it's a horse to definitely peg for the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, nice ride by Joel Rosario. So that is the Grade 2 summer wrap. What about the Grade 1 Natalma, which happened a couple of races later for the ladies? And of course, this is the exact same race that Catch a Glimpse used to springboard to her now elite status.
That's right, and Mark Cassey had several horses in this race. This was a really big field and a tremendous betting race. Nobody really knew who to bet on, who to make the favorite, and it was just a lot of horses to choose from and a lot of horses coming down to the wire.
Yes, but only one would be there at the end, pretty much by herself. Here is once again Robert Geller with the stretch call.
And right down the outside, Victory to Victory, and here comes on the extreme outside, Stormy Perfection. Stormy Perfection is really coming home strongly. Victory to Victory, and Stormy Perfection on the outside. They will settle down to fight this out. Victory to Victory, stubborn as they come, coming away from them, and is going to get the victory. In the Natalma, Victory to Victory by 2.5. Stormy Perfection had a shot, ran second, beat the benchmark third.
I was sitting very in good position early on. From that post outside, I was laying 5th, very comfortable without taking any bump, and I didn't burn too much gas, you know, to take my position, which was a good sign.
But moving forward, this is always a very important race, a big stepping stone going into the Breeders' Cup. That's why it's a Grade 1. And you win this race, you can go on and do really big things. I would think we'll back off of her and we'll point her to the Breeders' Cup. There's probably no reason to run her in between. She's ready to go, and we'll move forward from here.
Well, there you have it. Norm says next stop, Santa Anita. And I know it's a little early, but baby Tepin?
Oh,
no, okay, maybe
gosh,
not just yet.
That's getting.
But it was a nice win.
Yeah, it was a nice win. Yeah, I mean, she's a young up-and-comer.
Yes.
Blinkers on. When you look for 2-year-old races and stakes races, look for equipment changes because sometimes these little adjustments help these young horses focus. There was a lot of horses in there that didn't have very good trips, to tell you the truth. I mean, Beat the Benchmark, the 8-horse, was making a great move, but decided to go in between horses, ran out of room there. But you know what? This is a new combination now to watch out for. Live Oak Plantation, Charlotte Weber with trainer Mark Cassey. This is a filly, Mark Cassey going to the Breeders' Cup. Juvenile fillies, turf again.
All right, not baby Tepin just yet, but
no.
She may have a good piece of future ahead of her.
Yes.
We shall find out. Okay, so that's enough of looking back. Let's look forward. Coming up later on today, a couple of stakes events at Woodbine. We have the Durham Cup and the Ontario Colleen.
2 graded events. One of them, the Durham Cup, is on the Tepin for older horses. And we were thinking that Breaking Lucky might be running in there after his great run in the Whitney behind Shaman Ghost, but he might not go in there. So we might see the Durham Cup being a rematch between Mel Mitch and some of the other older horses. I think we'll see Up With the Birds in there too, the Horse of the Year from a couple of years ago.
All right, and the action continues on Sunday, the Classy and Smart, and as well the Kingarvey.
Yeah, and the Classy and Smart is for older mares on Tepin. And Hot Kiss is probably going to be one of the big contenders in there, coming off a terrible trip in her last start.
All right, looking forward to that. Plus, of course, the Juvenile is always a lot of fun in the Kingarvey.
Time now for our News of the Week, brought to you by Woodbine's HPI Bet. Ivan Dallas was honored at the annual Thoroughbred Owners and Breeders Dinner in Kentucky last week. Dallas has been involved in the game for over 40 years. His breeding operation is outstanding. His winners include Amise Gizmo, Amise Flatter, and Gamble's Ghost. There's another great racing story brewing down under. Winx is Australia's latest sensation. The 5-year-old daughter of Street Cry, trained by Chris Waller, recently won her 11th straight race, including a number of graded stakes victories, boosting her lifetime bankroll past the $7 million mark. Winx is slated to run in 2 more stakes events in October. Fresh off that impressive victory where he crushed a terrific field in the TVG Pacific Classic at Del Mar, California Chrome has moved back to the top of the Longines World Rankings for 2016. The 2014 Horse of the Year has won all 5 of his starts this year. The California-bred son of Lucky Pulpit edged out Arrogate and Shin Hikari. Arrogate made a big leap with that dominating win at the Travers. When we come back, scrapping his way to a good riding career, our weekly handicapping segment, and round 2 of the Agent Agenda. But first, a look at the trainer stands.
A reminder, you can also join us for the radio version of Talkin' Horses each and every Saturday morning, 10 o'clock on G98.7.
They're off! Catch the thrill and bet anywhere, anytime with HPI Bet. Use HPIBet.com on your phone, tablet, or PC to bet when you just can't be there. Join HPI Bet for free today. Stream live racing from over 150 tracks around the world. Bet with ease anywhere, anytime. It's safe and secure. Plus, receive personalized alerts, rewards, and more. Become a member, join for free today, and get up to $250 plus. Your first bet is on us. Simply go to HPIBet.com and sign up now.
Breeder, the owner, the trainer, or the jockey. But for a few glorious moments, it's your horse. This is Ontario Racing.
Welcome back to the program. Joe and Jason with you once again. You know, Omar Moreno is a talented rider. He's a former Eclipse Award winner as Top Apprentice.
And you know what? He's actually the last jockey to win on both sides of the 49th in terms of a first-year jock, if you will. So a Sovereign Award, an Eclipse Award. And here's a guy that recently, you know, got himself a brand new agent. And he says, you know what? I'm always in for a good fight. With more on this, the feature brought to you by Maddie-Jo as we get mad about racing.
Many of you know Omar Moreno as a jockey here at Woodbine, but he's even more athletic than you think. He was a 3-time junior national champion in boxing.
Well, I was born in El Salvador. I came to Canada because we were going through a civil war and we came here as refugees. I was really young, but you know, in a country like that, kids, you gotta grow up quick. You don't have a time to be a child, and you gotta learn quick and survive. Some of my older brothers were boxing, and they were doing it just because they enjoyed it. And I think I was young at the time, and we were in foster homes, and the only way we could see each other more than once a week is to go to the boxing club. I had, I believe it was 32, 33 fights. I lost 3. You know, I ended up winning all the provincials and national. I won 3-time junior nationals, and I got a bronze and the senior nationals, and I think around then is when I was already finishing off with boxing.
So Omar, why did you stop boxing?
My shoulders started bothering me, and after seeing a few doctors and stuff like that, they told me that if I didn't stop, I wasn't going to be able to use my arms properly.
I guess you've always been involved in individual sports.
Yes, with boxing, if you do something bad or you lose, you could blame yourself. In this game, you know, you have a horse underneath you. It's not like, you know, okay, we're gonna go win, let's do this, right? It's hard. That part makes it hard because you're not relying just on yourself.
What made you decide you wanted to be a jockey?
Well, a friend of mine goes, you know, kid, you should be a jockey. You know, like, what in the world's a jockey, you know? He goes, these guys that ride those horses, he goes, how old are you? And I was still a teenager. He goes, when you turn 18, give me a call, and we could go watch a race together. I just let it be, and I didn't pursue it until later on.
What are you proud of?
I'm proud of being here, you know, just to be here.
What do you love about being a jockey?
When you go out there, and when those gates open up, there's no other feeling like it. So, and winning. So that's it.
Well, you can be sure Omar will always be fighting for that winner's circle. For Talkin' Horses, I'm Maddie-Jo.
By the way, Jason, did you know that Omar Moreno trained at the Cougar Boxing Club at Edmonton? That's the same boxing club I trained at just a few years ago.
Wow, yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh. Kind of cool. I'm going to throw that in there. Now it's time for Jen's Gems, our Talkin' Horses picks of the week. Coming up, we'll mesmerize you with our picks, our Groom of the Week, and our agents square off in their trivia segment.
The Canadian Thoroughbred Horse Society Ontario Division serves as the voice of thoroughbred breeders, supporting the well-being of the thoroughbred industry, educating, advocating, building for the future, with awards, recognition, and rewarding incentives, ensuring it pays to buy, breed, and race in Ontario. Be a part of this future and learn more at cthsont.com.
breeder, the owner, the trainer, or the jockey. But for a few glorious moments, it's your horse. This is Ontario Racing.
Welcome back. Time for our handicapping segment brought to you by 2001 Audio Video. And last week, Jason, third and fourth, third for you, fourth for me, hit the ticket for the Superfecta.
That's all that matters as long as we continue to be, you know, in the mix and helping people perhaps make some money.
All right, let's see what happens this week. The third race, an allowance optional claimer at 6.5 furlongs, and I'm going to go with a horse I've gone with before. I'm going to let it ride, baby. Colleen Sailor, the one horse who won last time out for us.
Yeah, what's that saying about ride the horse that got you here, right? So, you know what? I can see why you go in that one's direction, looking for a 4th straight win. I'm going to go a couple stalls down. This week, I'm going to focus in on class. And sometimes just getting a little bit of relief can be exactly what an equine athlete needs to get back inside victory lane. So Rexton for me at 4-1. That's a good price. That's a good starting point. But, you know, look at the last start. That was the Kenora Stakes, part of Canadian Millions Stakes night. Prime time, under the lights, and was a decent third. The start before that, which goes back to last year, he was actually, you know, an okay 6th in a tough spot. The Grade 2 Kennedy Road. Before that, a tough allowance race. Looks like a prep for an added money event. So now you get a chance to drop into this allowance optional claimer, and that could be the relief that this son of philanthropist needs to perhaps get that first win of the season. And Joe, he also gets a chance to put 2 races close together, which I do like from a fitness point of view.
All right, good luck.
All right.
And now it's time for our Groom of the Week. Jason, who are you looking at?
Well, Joe, the original game plan was to come outside here in the paddock and wait for the horses that were playing in the summer stakes. But in between, I said, let me just take a look at some of these guys. And wow, up pops Taleb Akadi's son named Akadi Sone. I was amazed by the way Elvis Thompson had this horse prepared. And you know what? It wasn't just about the physical appearance. It was almost like he had the mental attitude, realizing that today could be his day. He was pumped up, had that quiet confidence. And I said, you know what? I know I'm waiting for these ladies, but this guy is going to have me make a different decision. And I have. Congratulations to groom Elvis Thompson for the way he had Taleb Akadi's son, Akadi Sone, looking in today's race.
And all the names for our Groom of the Week winners will get thrown into a hat at the end of the season, and we'll make a draw for a dinner for 4 at Wendell Clark's Classic Grill and Bar. And congratulations to last week's Groom of the Week winner, a 16-to-1 shot on the track.
Amanda Irwin, yeah, she deserved the honor. And then you know what? That's the beauty of this game. Sometimes you can pick a winner just by looking with your eyes.
All right. And it's time now for our agent agenda, Week 2.
Week 2, and once again we have a good-looking showdown, and let's see if they fare a little better this week, because last week a little tough for Tony and Don.
It was, yeah. Ask the Agent is brought to you by the Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation.
Back outside the race office, Ask the Agents Part 2. This time we have Lauren Spearman representing Tony Mirage, taking on Ron Burke, who supports Stevie Bayan, and of course, Davey Morin. Who will book a spot in the final? You guys like that? Get it? Book? Never mind. Let's go. Your category is the E.P. Taylor Turf Course, the showpiece of racing at Woodbine. Question number 1. Which famous equine athlete took the inaugural race on the E.P. Taylor Turf Course? Who was the first ever to win on that very grass course? A. Ali Deed, B. Ali Wow, or C. is Vestia? Answers are, flip them, reveal. A, Ali Deed, A, both wrong. Ali Wow. Close. You both had the Ali, which is good. Now we're going to see how good you guys are at scheduling. You book your amounts for the riders, right? Here's the next question. Name the last graded turf race of the season at Woodbine. Is it A, the Cup and Saucer, B, the Bunty Lawless, or C, the Carotene? You guys booked the spots for these riders in these races. A, B, or C. Answers are A, Cup and Saucer, it's C, Carotene. You guys are doing great. It could come down to this. In recent memory, here we go. You know, we started something new this year with a clockwise racing. Name the first horse to win a clockwise race on the turf course at Woodbine. Is it A, Omar, B, Fireball Merlin, or C, Northern Hammer? No answers from the crowd. B, both got it right. So we go to overtime. Here we go. What year did they open up the E.P. Taylor? What year did they open up the E.P. Taylor? Mark it down. Here we go. I'll give you a hint. It's 19-something, and 98, 90. It's, you guys, oh, close, but you win because you didn't go over. It's 1994. That close. You guys were right in the middle. So Lauren Spearman moves on to the final.
I love Asian trivia.
We should have more of these. Perhaps we should have started this earlier in the season.
It was a good catch for sure. Anyway, that does it for this week's show. For Jason and all of us here at Talking Horses, I'm Joe Tilley. We'll see you at the track.